are in Port Colborne, Canada, and we are along Lock 8 of the Welland Canal. We're going to go through the Welland Canal. I believe it is 24 meters wide, and our vessel was designed specifically to get through the Welland Canal and is 23.5 meters wide. So the captain, who is French, he says, "Today is paint scraping day." So we're going to be scraping off some paint from the Viking Polaris, and it's going to be really cool. We are visiting with our dear friend Barb, and just had breakfast at a really sweet place. Very nice people, you know, all those Canadians are nice. And we're just taking little strolls through the park along the Lock 8. Lock 8 is at the southern end of the Welland Canal, which is 27 miles long. We will go from Lake Erie up to Lake Ontario, and the purpose of the Welland Canal is to bypass Niagara Falls. The other important reason to have the Welland Canal and the locks is that Lake Erie is 326 feet higher than Lake Ontario. Our friend Barb spent her summers here on Waverly Beach, and I just asked her if she realized how lucky she was as a kid. And we're looking at Buffalo now, which is where we lived for a period of time. We're looking at Lake Erie. And Waverly Beach is known for its reefs, and you can see the rocks sticking out, but wow, this is absolutely beautiful. Just so relaxing and serene. So this is a bridge going into Lock 8
of the Welland Canal.
Of the Welland Canal, and I believe
Port Colborne, Canada.
So I believe the way that this thing works is it just looks like a massive bike chain that pulls this whole middle structure straight up.
So this takes us from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario.
Look at you learning your lakes. Very good. Now, the bridge is going to come back down, which is really pretty incredible that they just lift this whole thing up. All right, bridge is coming back down. The lake in the background is Lake Erie. Lock 8 is just a guard or control lock to accommodate the variance in water levels on Lake Erie, and lifts or lowers the ships just 2 to 11 feet. Unlike the other locks, which raise or lower a ship over 40 feet.
There are 8 locks in the Welland Canal. They are just barely wider than what the ship is. So we've got inches of clearance on each side of the ship. and it will take us approximately 11 or 12 hours to transit the Welland Canal.
So I'm just looking over the side of the ship here, and you can see that it is probably a foot. He did scrape a little paint off initially, but he's doing great now. Sun setting on day 7. Day 7 has been really fun. We got to see our friend Barb. We just passed a boat in the Welland Canal, tooted at each other, and now we're about to go into a boat. See, I'm in Canada, so that's why I have to say it. We're about to go through Lock 7, and we're guessing it'll be a 50 foot drop. We are going to go into the lock, which has the water in it because that ship that just went through had to get raised up to this level. Now we're going in it. We're going to get lowered down to the next level. Our captain is steering the ship through all of the locks. Water can slosh around as it enters or leaves the lock and can cause the ship to bob up and down or move side to side. In the past, the ships would be held in place with mooring ropes and anchors. People had to take the ropes in or let them out depending on the water level. This was time-consuming, dangerous, and not always effective. Today, however, 3 large vacuum suction plates, or hands-free mooring, is used. These plates are yellow with a rubber seal and vacuum holes to suck the pad in place. The plates are controlled by one person sitting at a control panel. These 3 large suction plates attach to the ship and move on sliders at the same rate as the water level, keeping the ship steady. Once the ship has settled to the new water level, a button is pressed, the suction is released, and the ship continues on under the control of the captain. The locks are closing. We are in Lock 6, and that lock in front of us, the water is another 40 feet down, so we're going to lower down that amount from Lock 6. So that number tells us how many feet away from where we need to be, and once it gets to 0, that's when the alarms go off and the lock shuts in the back, and then the water starts coming out. We were mesmerized by the Welland Canal. At this point, we were in the locks that stack right up to each other, locks 6, 5, and 4, and it was just incredible. What Betsy's standing by right now is the door, and she's standing next to a crew member who has a walkie-talkie to communicate with the captain to let him know how close he's coming to the edge. I believe the plan they have is to stay as close to one edge, so they only scrape paint off that side, not both. So tell me how close we were.
I mean, it was like 2 inches away. It was less than 3 inches away. Like if you'd had your hands even like this, they would have scraped.
Ouch.
And we did scrape at one point. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah. Like right here.
What's that?
Look at it.
I know.
Yep.
Whoops.
It's that same thing. It's just straight. You hear it?
Yeah. Oh, there it goes again. We are squeezing through. Are we in lock 5 now?
Well, there's more space on the other side because we're hugging this side.
We're hugging it a lot. Those are the magnets that hold on to the ship. Oh yeah, we got a lot more room on this side. So that's the magnet that holds onto the ship as it goes down, and then it goes back up to get the next ship. They have filled up the lock behind us. It's a little unnerving because as they fill it with the door closed, there doesn't seem to be a really tight seal. It's like a geyser back there. They said in the winter they drain all the locks so they can do maintenance because no ships can go through because everything's frozen over on the Great Lakes. That has got to be a cold, hard job. And this has to be a nerve-wracking job to go through these locks. There's some serious gouges in this wall. Ooh. Like I see a little light. Well, the captain said the fastest he's ever gone through these locks is 11 hours because you have to wait as other ships are in the locks. You have to give them their time to go through and then you go through. Oh. So we're going under where a cable would go on the other side as a safety measure. I'm not sure why we're going all the way through. Oh, I know, because we're getting into the next lock and that would be the safety cable if the ship were coming the other way. Unless there's a lock on the other side I can't see because these walls are so tall. Oh, here's the door. It looks like a movie set. I mean, it's just crazy. So this is the one of the locked doors. You can see the, I guess that's where it hinges. Everything's just so big. It's just so big. Oh, here's some paint coming off. Gouges. You sure your head's safe from anything?
That was a little tight.
That was tight. This is just such an amazing thing, and we are pretty much the only people out here watching this. Everybody's in there eating the wonderful food.